I do know that there's a lot of contingencies put on pets and making sure that they're pet friendly and stuff like that. So that's one aspect. But they don't really let you bring a lot of your own personal stuff.
Yeah.
Because of, I would say, because of crowding, right? Like, I mean, these are for people to come in with just what they need for that moment of time. It's not like
moving the whole house.
Like the person who said Keurig.
Right.
Are they accepting that at the doors of a shelter? Because if everybody, the way I look at it is if everybody walks in with an item, now you got a bunch of stuff in there, and you know what I'm saying?
It's taking up room for somebody else.
Right, because you're supposed to be trying to put bodies in there to get safe, not to be in there to be entertained.
Yeah, they're saying that each resident may only have a space the size of approximately one sleeping bag or 20 square feet.
So bringing your entire PlayStation setup, probably not going to work. But if you can bring a Switch, maybe that would be easier.
For those places, they ask you to bring disaster kits like bedding, medications, hygiene items, and any other specific items you might need for your family. Doesn't say anything about electronics or anything. So I would imagine that no, you probably can't.
Okay, out of the 813, I'm a shelter worker. What questions have you got for me? I'm listening now. Please, no appliances. No appliances bringing into the shelter.
That was just my guess, and I'm agreeing with you. Like the person who said they bring in a coffee machine at Keurig, I'm like, listen,
you can live without it for a day.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you can eat, like, if you're at a shelter and they got regular coffee for you, guess what?
That's what we're having.
That's a blessing.
If you want to bring a pet, you need to just bring certain forms that show that it has its rabies vaccinations. The pet must be put on a leash, and it needs a crate large enough for your pet to stand up and turn around in it.
Oh, my gosh. That's a lot. This is really important. Okay, she also texted back, if we lose power and the generator has to be used, we do not want extra power being used by appliances.
No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what the thing is, you have to remember these shelters are not for your comfort, they're for your safety. Now, they try and make you as comfortable as possible. I mean, giving you some space and you know, but your safety is what's paramount.
Yeah.
Bring anything, she just texted, bring anything to make yourself comfortable for a long stay. Water, food, snacks, books, clothes, bedding, all that is welcome.
I would like to say I don't know if this person is a man or woman. I don't know why I said it.
You said she, and I thought you was over there chatting.
I know. So I don't know who this person is, but thank you for the information.
Yeah,
right.
if you guys
need scroll up higher and see if there's
I tried.
It says Michael Myers. I don't know,
Michael,
no, I'm just looking up at when you scroll up, you look at previous answers.
I know.
And stuff. So I think, it looks kind of guyish.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go to hcfl.gov, they have a list of all the shelters that you could go to. Which ones?
Did you find one?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I'm talking about. Did you find one?
Right.
We also are counseling you.
Yeah, no, the ones closest to my house, like I said before, is probably Sickles High School and Irwin Tech.
But you need to put that dog in a cage, though.
I have a cage, so I'm Gucci. Yeah,
just saying.
My dog's crate trained.
Start with a pit.
I'm all just good saying, with that. You got a pit, bro. That makes people nervous.
Yeah.
You got somebody on the line. Hello, Freak Show.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Are you dry?
Good,
Are you safe out there?
Yeah, man. We're down about 3-4 streets away from the Skyway, and it's you got a little wind, but it's clear for right now.
What are your plans? If you're close to the Skyway, that means you're probably evacuation A, right?
Yeah, but usually, I've been around here for years and years, and really don't flood like that in this area. But anything past US 19 going toward the beach is definitely going to flood, brother.
Now, how did you fare for Hurricane Helene being so close to the Skyway?
Well, the only thing that really happened was the lights went out for a few days, and that's pretty much about it.
Okay.
We got a little bit of rain, on and off, but it wasn't as windy as usual. But I believe this time it's going to be really windy, definitely more windy.
Yeah.
Definitely more rain. So, all we can do, we can pray and hope for the best, man,
Yeah, but you can also evacuate too. I mean, because you can get out of there and you still got time. They said, this afternoon you still got time to move around if you want to make that decision.
What zone are you?
Yeah.
He's
A.
A?
Hey, I've been sitting them out since Hurricane Later. I ain't gonna sit up here in front with you. So I've been riding them out, man. I haven't seen
since 11, but this is like the last one was 3 feet in storm surge. They're talking about 10 here. Now it depends on where that eye comes on the land, but you're right there in the. I mean, you tongue kissing Milton right in the face, like you are right there in front.
10 to 12 feet.
Definitely, man. Hey, man, listen, I've been cleaning up on Paso Grill for all those people out there, man. It looked like Lebanon out there, man. It's, the St. Pete Beach area, Paso Grill area, they caught it really, really, really bad.
Absolutely, they did. So that's the indicator on what it can do. I just want everybody safe, bro. If you calling up here, then we're going to treat you like fam, like we do with anybody else. We just yelled at Rich for not having a plan, and we're going to yell at you too. We got to make sure you get out of there, man. And you heard did you hear what the mayor said? The mayor said that if you get evacuated and they tell you to get out and you don't, you going to die. I'm dead serious, man. That's what she said.
I understand what you're saying.
All
Okay.
right, we just want you to stay safe.
Hey, what was the last one?
Helene.
Helene was last.
Category 4 was what, 92?
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, Dallas was. I want to say that got up to 4 though.
I remember they mentioned that this was similar to Andrew.
I've been there. It's not like it's but if you're in that flood zone.
That's
I know damn well they at the evacuation center they don't say, well, are you in a flood zone? Are you in a flood zone?
No, listen. If you flooded the last time, get out of there. If your house flooded the last time, this last storm you just passed, get out of there.
Right.
Get out of there, man. Ain't nothing to talk about. Now, for the people who didn't flood, you might be kind of all right.
Okay.
And I just don't want to bring, panic like that. Panic is panic. We panic. I'm panicking.
Well, you a repeater, I tell you that.
Hurricane.
Flood. Not the flood.
It's not funny, but I just came from my job. And I'm sitting there. I sat there for like 45 minutes, right? Nobody came.
Man,
we're evacuating. You know what I'm saying? We're gone, man. Nobody's gonna wait.
Right, they leaving. So
I just turned around and came back home. I'm sitting in the front yard right now in the car.
All right.
Okay. All right, man. Well, listen. I want you to make sure you pay attention. But I'm gonna play this mayor for you just so you can hear it again because those are sobering words for you, fam. So I appreciate you checking in, dude.
Yeah, that's scary.
Then you see the text like people like he gonna drown.
Yeah.
I hope he can swim. Tell that caller that I'm with him. I'm with him, and my prayers are with him. You know what? And honestly, you can't question somebody's faith, but you can also God gives you free will, and He also sends people by. Like there's that joke where they're like, "Oh, God's gonna bless me," and it's like, no. I remember my dad told me this one. Like people are like in like New Orleans, Katrina kind of way, where they're like suspended up on the roof, and then people come. They're like, we're just gonna pray and make sure everything is all right because God's got us. And then like the people come by with a boat and they're like, hey, if you jump down here, we can help you. And they're like, no, that's too far. And it's like, well, we praying because God got us. And and so they people like, all right, because they gotta leave. And then the other neighbors are like leaving, and they're like, hey, we got a little space if you want to try and get in here. And it's like, nah, man, listen, we just gonna stay prayed up and whatever. And then it goes bad.
Right.
And that person ends up at the gates. And God's like, what are you doing, my son? And they're like, well, I was praying and you ain't helped me. It's like, I sent a boat.
Right.
I sent people. They all came by there to get you. That's what I answered.
Yeah.
What you waiting on?
Mm-hmm.
Like you waiting on a spotlight? It's like, yo, like you praying for it. It's like, guess what?
It's here.
That's the help.
Yeah.
You guys
maybe us talking to him on the phone was the help for him to say, hey, bro, maybe I do need to get out of here.
Yeah, like you guys are getting all the warnings right now. If you're in zone A, B, if you're in Pinellas, like if they've told you to evacuate, you should evacuate for your own safety.
Yeah, and what the mayor said was pretty alarming in itself.
Yeah, 813 said this is a PSA of what not to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie said, hang up. I mean, listen, I'm not going to treat anybody bad because, I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. His mentality is it's been since 11. And that's the part that we've been talking about that everybody gets jaded. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets comfortable because we haven't had a direct hit in over 100 years.
Yeah, so why would
So
you?
anybody, like he's talking about since 11, I ain't had any. Bro, since Hell, since damn near 1911, we ain't had a direct hit.
Yeah, I was asking about why people weren't boarding up in certain areas, and all the neighbors, their answer was, "Well, we've never had to board up before." And I'm like, you did not exist 100 years ago.
I told our bosses, I'm like, listen, I've been in this building forever, and I'm like, you ain't even got to add a number to it. It's just forever. And I ain't never seen our parking lot flood. So making everybody move all this equipment up from downstairs just seems kind of futile. Mm-hmm. Do you know when I came in here for the Helene thing, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like it's
Shocked.
the first, and I don't know if it's, global warming or extra saturation from rain or whatever they want to call it in the scientific world. I just know that my ass saying that I ain't never seen it is not a help.
Yeah.
And
because it flooded.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be 10 times worse than that, maybe even more. So,
now, we're hoping for the best,
of course,
but planning for the worst. And sitting there in your bro, and I know you're still listening because you've just been on the radio. People probably texting you like, bruh, who recognized your voice. But I told you I was going to play this for you just one more time because this is sobering, and this was Mayor Castor on with I believe CNN.
What would you say to people who aren't heeding those evacuation orders?
Well, I can tell you right now that they may have done that in others. There's never been one like this. And this, Helene was a wake-up call. This is literally catastrophic. And I can say without any dramatization whatsoever, if you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
Wow. I mean, that is an incredibly blunt message. And I know you have a lot of experience dealing with these storms. You don't say something like that lightly, Mayor.
I've never said that. And 10 to 12 foot surge. I mean, if this takes a jog to the south, that's going to save us from the storm surge. But it stays on the track that it's projected to be on right now. Or if it goes a bit north, would be even worse. Some of the predictions are saying that Pinellas County to the south of us, the entire county is going to be underwater. So this is something that I have never seen in my life. And I can tell you that anyone who was born and raised in the Tampa Bay area has never seen anything like this before. People need to get out.
And your message is just, this isn't survivable.
If we have that predicted storm surge, it is not survivable.
Yeah, that's...
No sugarcoating.
That's tough to hear.
I mean, it is. And again, it's based off of the information that they have now.
Yes.
It could change. You could hope that it changes. But to see what the evidence is pointing to now and say, you know what, I'm just going to ride that thing out. They cannot come and save you, especially if you're next to the Skyway Bridge. Mm-hmm. If they're talking about Pinellas is going to take a bunch of surge. And that, I mean, if you really want to keep it a buck, I have a very good friend of mine, who is down in Port Charlotte, who's a teacher.
Yep.
And they lost everything 2 storms ago. Mm. Parents had to shut down, get rid of the house because it was ruined. Everybody crammed into an apartment. They lost everything. Mm. For them to get back up on their feet now, and people were like, man, we hope it goes a little further south. And I'm like, I can't even say that. I don't want it to affect us with storm surge. And yeah, if it hits Sarasota and lower, that's going to put everybody down there in that Captiva, Port Charlotte, Fort Myers, all of those areas down there that got immensely torn and destroyed, Longbow Key. All of that would be hit. So it's not lightly for us to say, oh man, but if it just cheats a little bit to the south, because we have people that are down there listening to us, and that we have a big space here. Yes. We have a big signal. We touch all of these folks. I don't want anybody affected by it. So everybody take the advice and heed the warnings. Is what I'm trying to say, to make sure you're prepared to stay safe. That's the only thing we want to see you do.
Find a shelter.
Find a shelter. Find some sort of plan. You still have time. The first question we got asked this morning was, is it too late to go to a shelter? It is not. So all of that information, whether it's Pinellas or Hillsborough, we have it here, 888-429-0941. We'll take a break and we'll come back on the other side. We just want everybody to stay safe and dry. If we can do that, we can make it to anything else. All right.